All right, I'm Amy Carter. I teach English at Chapin High School.
I'm Dawn Weathersby, and I also teach English at Chapin High School.
We are part of a program, or we teach in a program called the Academic Leadership Academy, primarily for 9th and 10th grade students in our classes. It goes all the way through senior year.
And last spring, we were fortunate enough to be introduced to the Center for Creative Leadership and their toolkit. And we would like to talk to you a little bit about how we have integrated some of that into our curriculum.
Mm-hmm. So we started with the 9th and 10th grade focus on the leading self and understanding self. So we focused primarily our first few lessons on social identity and mental models.
Mm-hmm. And in the beginning, we simply taught those concepts using the toolkit and having them identify their core values and their given values and understanding how their mental models worked. And after we did those introductory lessons, we kept up with those along with having them read Blink by Malcolm Gladwell, which was
phenomenal.
Integrated perfectly.
Mm-hmm. Worked really well with what we were talking about. We moved into Greek literature because, of course, we have our standards to hit. So we started teaching Oedipus Rex and Antigone. And instead of just asking the questions, how are these kings in these plays good leaders or bad leaders, we used the toolkit, the social identity map in the toolkit to have them examine how these people might complete their own social identity. What are their given characteristics? What do they choose, and what does that say about their core? So we looked at King Oedipus and King Creon, and then we will use those notes and those conversations for a class debate. The kids will debate whether or not, or who was the better leader in these plays. Mm-hmm. So.
And we've also developed an independent reading assignment, and it's in part based on a question that one of Amy's students had last year when she was applying to the University of South Carolina Honors College, and it dealt with books that she had chosen to read in the previous 2 years. And so we're going to start our sophomores and freshmen out now choosing books to read that they can add to a list, an academic reading list. But we're going to have them use the social identity map. You know, what were you assigned? What were you given? What did you choose? And how are these reflective of your core and who you are as a person? How does it all integrate together? Mm-hmm. Have them start building this repertoire of academic literature.
Right. So, and the lessons have been great. Not only are the kids able to think about the literature in terms of leadership lessons as well as literature lessons, but they're also learning how to better communicate with each other. They're learning, in high school, it's such an important thing to be friends with the people you work with. And our kids are learning that you can come from different spheres and still work well together. Kids who normally wouldn't have worked with each other or communicated effectively are learning how to get past that given circle that they automatically see in each other.
The aha moments that these kids have been wonderful. Learning about how their mental models affect how they see others and themselves, mm-hmm. and how that affects their social identities, and where they spend their time, and how that creates their own self-view and others' views of them.
Right.
But the aha moments that they've had about who they are as human beings,
right.
Has been nothing short of amazing.
Right. And the idea, too, that in this adolescent stage of life that they can still kind of analyze how they are developing mental models for their futures is also really important and something that we want them to consciously think more about in high school.
Mm-hmm. And ultimately, during the rest of this year, we're going to continue to integrate tools from the toolkit and help them grow as individuals, and then next year move them into how that helps them work together to, again, affect positive change, to be leaders.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Thanks very much. That was just fabulous.